as the young member of parliament said, the youth does have a progressive outlook towards it, but the leaders are all clearly not belonging to the segment that they're supposed to represent. So there is, in my opinion, there is a huge mismatch between the electorate and those that are represented, at least from a generation point of view. So I can't expect somebody who's 65 years old to understand how I feel.
Yeah, but you know,
and he clearly is not my representative.
He's clearly not your representative. Is there so you're saying there's a disconnect between what you think and what religious and political leaders feel?
I think our political leaders, majority of them are beyond are completely beyond us in a generation gap, Rajdeep, completely.
Okay, is it Ranveer Shaurya generation? I mean, I don't know how old you were when you were in 1992, but do you believe there's a generation? It's actually a generational change that we've seen in the last week
20.
here in this country. You were 20 then. Okay, so you were relatively young. So, and you're still relatively young, but do you believe there's a generational change that if 50 or 60% of India is under the age of 35, they were what, hardly 16 or 17 when in 1992? And it's that generation which is in decision making, which wants to move on?
I agree. I think it's today's youth is pretty disconnected from that that kind of politics, or rather wants to disconnect itself from that kind of politics, because it recognizes the futility of the whole process. You can go on nitpicking about this, you can go on litigating about this for all time to come, until you are ready to actually talk to your how do I put it, your fellow citizens and your own people about what their needs are and how they feel. No relationship works, really. I think
okay, so
I was watching TV.
So there's a futility. You see a futility. Is there a futility, Shazia? Is there a sense of futility among both communities? As I said, in Uttar Pradesh, in places like Kanpur, is there a face among the young that, yeah, these guys, you know, here is a place, as you said, where there are park cuts, where there are bad roads, that let's get these things.
Exactly, and real questions never get to be asked. You know, we have
But isn't religion important? Isn't religion important?
No, religion is important, but I think there's such a disconnect between the youth. When you look at the middle class youth and the politics, it's almost as if they have nothing to do with each other. And even the younger leaders of different political parties, they just toe the party lines. Handsome is what handsome does. You're talking about youth being different, show it. Let there be a different voice. We as young people should ask, we should ask our religious leaders and political leaders, have fatwas against illiteracy. We should have a Rath Yatra. Absolutely. Go ahead, have a Rath Yatra for clean drinking water. Have a Rath Yatra to make sure 50% of India doesn't defecate out in the open. Right. We should go and ask these questions. Have a jihad against corruption. Follow religion, but religion can be used, if it's such an emotive issue, use it for something better. Like Dayanand Saraswati, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, like Sir Syed Ahmad Khan did. So youth is what youth does. Handsome is what, youth is a very simplistic argument. Youth feels differently. What about it? What is the next step?
That's a good point.
It's governance that we are talking about. Young people or young India is more bothered about governance rather than about religion. In the sense
you basically want the issues focused back on governance, that religion becomes an issue which is divisive, governance becomes an issue
that's what
that
it has become
us.
Historically. In the sense, religion otherwise is not. As in, it needs to be practiced. It's
but in this particular instance, it does. You know, yes.
Rajiv, we made it so easy for political parties. They keep us wrapped up with temple and mosque, and we keep taking it. We say, hello, temple, mosque, yeah, right, dude, got it. But what next? Next time you come for chanda, for mandir, what about the road? What about the potholes? Are we asking the questions? We need to ask those questions, and then India will move on.
You know, I want to put this to Rahul Ishwaran and to Hamidullah Saeed, because politicians and religious leaders, and in a sense you represent both, are coming under fire. Hamidullah Saeed, why does, you know, Rahul Gandhi talks about an India beyond Ayodhya, that the real issues are infrastructure, but down there your party still seems caught in an old mindset at times. We don't see that dramatic change in your party leaders, because most of them are above the age of 60. You need a younger leadership which is right down the line. It can't be just one Rahul Gandhi making one speech somewhere.
You see, just now you mentioned that the older generation should be discarded and younger generation should be given an opportunity.
Yes.
And before this, you said that Dr. Manmohan Singh was instrumental in improving our economy. So you are contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not. Your cabinet has what, hardly one or two ministers who are born after 1947. Your cabinet ministers. You know, what is the point in having a cabinet which is old and a country which is young? I think that's the problem. And the old politicians seem to have an old mindset. You know, that's the concern I think that Shazia is voicing here.
So Rajdeep, it is the job of the members of parliament and legislators to question the policy of the government in the parliament.
But that
So
doesn't
there are a
happen.
lot of young MPs now.
Again,
They can question the policy of the government in the
a famous
parliament.
father, a famous
But they have to toe
father
the party
politician.
line.
That's right. They toe the party line. You think that they are too
Exactly.
conservative. Rahul Ishwaran, the point is...
So what changes?
Yes.
How do you move to the next level?
Yes, yes, Rahul
See,
Ishwaran.
one sec, Rajit.
Yes.
2 days ago,
Yes.
your own expert panel, Sri Yogendra Yadav, said in your own channel, urban youth is going to be the center of religiosity. I am not saying religion is the end of it.
Right.
All problems should be discussed, issues of development, issues of water, and it has become some kind of a fashionable thing to say all politicians are bad, all religious spiritual leaders are bad. That's a very blind statement. Don't be blinded by it.
Right. You know, Shazia Ilmi, Vimlendu, there is a point there, isn't it?
No, but there's no point. He's right. I mean, you can't be so cynical. We say we are the young India. We care about our reality TV. We care about Bollywood. We are hip and we are happening. And we care about multiplexes. And we're looking at new jobs. But listen, we have to ask the right questions. We have to be involved in politics.
No, but
It's almost as if nothing to do with politicians are bad.
Are we saying Gul
They're
Panag?
old, they're bad.
You know, are we saying Gul Panag that the young